Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to part 7 of our 8 video segment on Legendaries. This time around we're going to be going over shields. So first up in our lineup we have the Bee, which is possibly one of the hottest items on the market right now, and for a very obvious reason. As you can see with this Bee we get an extra 52,502 damage per shot with a 0 amp shot drain. And well, basically it allows you to destroy everything. So, I mean, as you can see, 80,000 on one bullet from an SMG that normally does 3,000. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But don't want to destroy everything too fast, so let's move on to our next shield, which is the Neogenator. And this is your typical instant shield, which comes with, increased health, elemental resistance. In particular, I took one that had a lower capacity but a fast recharge delay. And the other nice thing about the Neogenator is that, as you can see, my health is regenerating. And not only will health regenerate with this gun, but the lower your shield is, the faster your health regeneration, until your shield runs out. Basically, once your shield gets empty, the health regeneration will stop. But as you can see, now that my shield's low, my health is flying on up. And luckily, I have a nice shield recharge rate too, so helps to balance things out when using that one. Next in our lineup, we have the Hide of Terramorphous, which, as you can guess, is a Terramorphous drop. And this is a two-part shield. Basically, when it gets depleted, not only do you get a ridiculous amount of void damage, 36,000, but you also get a Fire Nova Blast that goes off, which you can see this one is a 91,590, so it's a lot of Nova damage going out, usually enough to kill just about everything. And if that's not enough, of course you get spike damage as well. So if you like running around, basically blank range with people and fighting them and, seeing Novas go off and spike damage and punching stuff, then this is probably a great shield for you. 'Cause, I mean, you got all kinds of goodies that are going to be going on every time it procs. Moving on to the next piece, though, we have the Whiskey-Tango-Foxtrot, which is phonetic for WTF, if you haven't figured that out yourself. And similar to other booster shields, this gun has a chance to spawn little boosters when you're shot that you can use to get your shield back. But not only that, the Whiskey-Tango-Foxtrot boosters are also going to spawn a number of little grenades. So if we can get our friendly Marauder here to shoot us. God, this guy's... Oh, there we go. And as you can see, we have little grenades popping on out. And a word of caution, you do have to be a bit careful when using this shield. These grenades, as you just saw, can also damage you in addition to your opponents. So, you got to be a little careful when you're using Whiskey-Tango-Foxtrot. But you can see there, all Foxtrotted up, spawns 3 volleys of shock boosters. Moving on to the next in our lineup. Let's see, we have the Impaler, a Mollywan favorite. And the really cool thing about the Impaler is whereas most spike shields, you're just going to deal damage to melee attackers, the Impaler is also going to deal damage when you're shot by bullets. So if one of these bandits is actually accurate enough to hit me, you can see the little spikes jumping up and homing in on them. And they do a pretty good chunk of damage too. You can see they're hitting this Crusher for about 30,000. So it's another fun one, especially for something like a Siren where you got a large amount of elemental damage and you like elemental damage. I think it's entertaining. Next in our lineup we have the Inflammable Flame of the Firehawk. And not only is it a Nova shield, possibly one of the coolest Nova shields, because when your shield goes down, as long as it's at 0, you will just continually drop Novas out. And Novas that are quite brutal at that. See, my shield went back up, so I only got 1 Nova, but trust me, it'll keep going off as long as your shield's at empty. I mean, if you can manage to somehow keep your shield empty for an indefinite period of time while your health stays up, it'd be a pretty baller combination, considering you'd be constantly doing a, close to 90,000 AoE. So, if you can find a way to do it, try it out, tell me how it goes. Next up, we have the Black Hole, and this is another fun one. I'm telling you, something about Mollywan, all their stuff is just so much fun. But as you can guess from the flavor text, you are the center of the universe. This shield's basically going to cause a singularity effect when it gets depleted. That's going to draw all enemies in and then electrocute them. So let's get our friendly bandits to shoot us. I tell you, these bandits are like, what's up with this guy? Took him like a minute to see that I'm here. As you can see, the singularity effect went off a little bit late, but you know, it pulls them all in, and then the Nova goes off. So in that regard, you know, it's a nice shield because it's gonna, you know, when you go down, if there's enemies nearby, it's gonna yank them over, and then it'll probably kill them for you. So that's pretty legit. And on top of that, if it doesn't, I mean, everybody hates those enemies that just run away. So having your shield yank them back to you when you go down is pretty handy. Let's see, we got 2 left in our series here. We have the Fabled Tortoise, which, as you can see, is a ridiculous shield capacity, and no, only 15,000 max health. But as you can guess from the Tortoise, your movement speed sucks. So this is the walking speed with it. This is the running speed. As you can see, I'm quite slow, but I mean, hey, that's the price you gotta pay for having 120,000 shields. And the final shield in our series is the Vladoff, the Sham. And as you can see, mine's a rather low capacity, but the interesting thing about the Sham that you may have already noticed is that the absorb chance is ridiculously high. With a 78% chance to absorb bullets, it's pretty hard to ever run out of ammo when you're fighting bandits. So, spray some bullets. He's using an assault rifle, so we're not going to get that ammo. But you can hear it procking off. You can see the little ammo clip in the corner of the screen adding ammo.
One less badass.
And with that, that ends our segment on shields. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. We have one more video to go in which we're going to go over grenade mods, and we'll see you then.